Good morning, rock stars. It is Monday, September 19th, and boy, oh boy, do we have some things to chat about today. First, we have to note that I am repping my team. Whoop, whoop. Yep, Vikings won last night. That's right. Boo to the Packers. So anyways, on to more important things. It is the 19th, meaning we are nearing the end of the month. And while historically September can be a slower month for coaches, I never buy in. Don't bite my desk. Oh my God, stop. You're being very naughty today. Very naughty. Lay down. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm having yellow lab problems this morning. I don't ever buy in to that BS about slow months, because every time it seems to circulate, oh, it's a slow month. You know what else happens in those slow months? Other people get ahead. Other people get 50 Success Club points. Other people bring, 20 people into this opportunity. So you create what it is. If September is a slow month for you, it's because you're moving slowly. You're not putting the opportunity in front of enough people. So I want to first for everyone to just own up to that, okay? I am still working with you this month. I have been focusing on Bill's business. So he's at Success Club 8, but I'm at Success Club 2. So I still have work to do myself. And that means I am with you 100%. Nobody ever stops being in phase one. Phase one is reaching out to others, helping them find a way to reach their goals, which we know we have that because we have fitness, we have nutrition, we have support, and we have the best in all of those areas. So I just want to chat a little bit about how we're going to focus on Success Club and helping people through the end of this month so that we can roll into October with some serious momentum. We want to really focus this last quarter of the year on keeping momentum moving forward so that come January, we are the people that everyone comes to when they set those New Year's resolutions. So some of you are familiar with jab, 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 right hook. Some of you are not, but essentially I can sum it up really, really quickly for you. It is in your social media, you're going to post little droplets, little things that are going to be your jabs. You're just kind of teasing your audience with stuff. So hopefully if you're utilizing the Rock the Croc group that the Rockstar Presenters is having next month, or you're creating something similar on your own with your own teammates and friends, that's fine. But if that's what you're focusing on for October, hopefully you're jabbing here and there. Maybe, you're talking about your crock pot. Just simple, like, oh, so, came home from baseball last night. So glad that my crock pot was on. I was able to give everybody, fajitas, whatever it is. Okay. I'm not wording things perfectly right now. I'm just trying to get your ideas out there. Okay. So you're jabbing, you're dropping little things. And then your hook is going to come in with a call to action, okay? But that call to action is not going to be as successful if you're just telling people that you're running this Rock the Croc group and it's going to be fabulous. It's not going to be as effective if you haven't done all those jabs leading up to it, okay? So, of course, they've got a mow every Monday morning. Can you hear that? So loud. Okay. All right. They're mowing the lawn. Anyways, so the best way to kind of jab is to jab maybe one night ahead of time and then multiple jabs multiple jabs throughout the day, and then a big hook. I think it's a right hook. Anyways, but a big right hook in the evening. You know your audience better than anybody else. For me, my hooks happen best if it's after 8 p.m., which is hard for me because I'm usually tired and really kind of ready to check out. But hey, success isn't convenient. So I will post my hook after 8 p.m. So I'll be completely honest. I'll own up. I have not been pushing the Rock the Croc very much personally. I've been doing little jabs here and there, but I haven't done any big hooks, I was really focused in the early part of the month on running some sneak peeks and things like that. So if you're looking for someone to follow or to see kind of how you do that, watch me this week. This week you will see me focusing. You've got to be able to hear it. You hear it. You hear it. You go away. You go away too. Okay, so this week will be a good week to watch me jab and watch me throw that hook, okay? So this week I intend fully to model for you what I hope that you will do. Take what I'm doing, make it your own, and put those jabs out there. Get those call to actions and get your audience on board with wanting to join you for a crockpot challenge, okay? We have a lot of work left to do in September, and just because it's the 19th doesn't mean it's a throwaway month. Trust me, it can be done, and anybody who makes Success Club a non-negotiable will reach that goal. Are you with me on that? Any questions about jabs and hooks or the crockpot group? Okay, good. So I'm going to move on. Really, that's the only thing we have to focus on this week. That's it. Part of what I want to do with these forecasting calls is really give you insight into where your focus should be and what the goal is for the week. And I can look at everyone here and say, I know we still need to focus on Success Club. So that's really it. This is the week of Success Club. That's the only thing that we're focusing on. Helping others, serving others, giving. I mean, crockpots, it's so silly, but it's one of those things where it truly is a gift you can give someone when you can teach them how to feed their family in an easy, nutritious way. This is honestly one of my favorite groups every year because we are giving the gift of a family meal. So you can't feel guilty about inviting someone to rock the crock with you. Of course, they're going to need Shakeology because that's going to be one of their meals throughout the day, and everybody benefits from a fitness program. But with that said, that's really our only focus this week. The only other thing I want you to, two other things I really want you to add to your calendar is, of course, in 50 minutes, our my coach, the person who brought me in here, so you wouldn't be here without her either, is speaking on the National Wake Up Call. So if you can tune in live, by all means, support her and do that, and then share some love on her page afterwards. And if you can't tune in live, catch the podcast. Make sure you shoot her a message or a note, or post on her page afterwards, letting her know how much you learned and appreciated that. So tune into that at 10. And then the only other thing I need on your calendar this week is our live power hour with Jessica Vigeland, Wednesday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Is that correct? All right, so Wednesday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, she'll be running a live power hour for you. I know that some of you have a hard time getting on those morning power hours, but guys, I looked at it and they're half and half. Half are in the morning and half are in the evening. So everybody should have at least 2 every month that they can tune into. So that's fair enough. All right, moving on to, I have 2 different training topics I want to talk about today, and they're kind of related. I need more coffee. I'm not talking fast enough. Hold on. First up, let's talk about haters. Okay, because I know that that's a sticking point for a lot of newer coaches, and then sometimes it creeps back in for veteran coaches. It's not something that ever really goes away entirely. It can hit pretty hard in the beginning because it's new and people wonder what you're doing. And then the reason I think that it hits veteran coaches sometimes is because when we see a little bit of success, people around us are like, they think, what the heck? Like, they really must have sold some shit, to succeed in this business. And I'm going to hate on them because I'm sorry. I'm just, they're jealous, whatever. Okay. So haters. And there's 2 aspects of the haters that I want to, well, actually 3 aspects of haters that I want to talk about this morning. First of all, there's something called conflict math. Suzanne, I'm thanking you for the book Start here, because I'm stealing straight from that book right now. But there's something he calls conflict math, and that is, we will get 1,000 likes on a photograph, 1,000 positive comments, and then we'll get one hater, right? And conflict math equations look like this: 1,000 compliments plus one hater equals one hater. Because that's what our brain does. Instead of accepting the 1,000 people that love us and accept us, we focus on that one hater. And why? Why do we do that? And I love this example. I can't find a better one, so I'm just going to use one that he uses in the book. But I think we're all pretty familiar with Southwest Airlines and how the CEO, Herb, I think it's Kelleher, is just, known for his unique approach with his employees and his team and his company. It's just a unique place. And if you don't know this, Southwest has always had a rule that they respond to every single customer letter, email, note, whatever. That's just been their policy forever. And for the longest time, they had this one woman who literally would continue to buy flights from them over and over and over again. And every single time she would write a hateful note, a hateful response, a hateful email. She wanted the opportunity to have first class. She wanted an assigned seat. She wanted to have a meal. She wanted this and she wanted that, right? And here I'm listening to it going, fly another airline. Why do you don't have to fly Southwest? You have a choice. That's what I'm thinking. But the Southwest team, of course, responds every single time. And then finally, after like 6 years of this, they get one note from her that they were like, the team was just like, this is it. We are done with this lady. And they passed the note, the letter, on to Herb. And they set it on his desk and said, this one's for you. And he read it. And you guys know a lot of CEOs, if they got a hateful response or hateful letter or, complaints, we spend way too much time, because this is the common response of all entrepreneurs. We spend so much time on the one conflict, right? The one complaint, rather than the thousands of people that are making us money, that are churning our business, that are supporting us and loving us. We spend so much time trying to make these certain customers happy that probably won't ever be happy, right? That's the tendency. And so a lot of airlines would have been like, fine, let's, give her some vouchers, yada, 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 right? And instead, Herb wrote out 4 words that summed up exactly what I want you guys to think about when you are faced with haters. And his 4 words that he wrote back to this woman was, we will miss you. Peace out. Get off my bus, lady. Right? She is not the right fit for Southwest Airlines. We can't make you happy, and we're not going to change who we are for one person that hates us. How powerful is that, right? Southwest is an extremely profitable airline. It has been for years. I don't know if it still is, but it has been for, up until the point that I stopped paying attention to it, right? It's profitable. Why would it change who it is to please one person? And you really have to think about that as you. Why would you change who you are for the one hater who's never going to like you anyways? There's nothing you're going to be able to do to make that one hater happy, right? So moving from that conflict math and thinking about that we are the drivers of our own bus. We read Energy Bus not that long ago. We're the drivers of our own bus, and we can tell people to get off, just like Herb Kelleher did. Keeping that in mind, moving on to the next step. When we get a hateful comment from a hater, there are only 2 questions that you ask yourself, and I want you to get in the habit of asking this every single time. Maybe even post it up on the top of your computer on a Post-it note, or next to your mouse. Does anybody still have a mouse? I don't even know. Anyways, on your desk, whatever. 2 questions: who and why? So when someone leaves a hateful comment on your social media or sends you a hateful inbox message or whatever, your very first question is going to be who. And here are the things you're thinking about when you say who. Is it someone super duper close to me who I actually really and truly value that relationship? Okay, if so, maybe you need to reread it and reconsider, who it's coming from. Is it someone who has considerable value or knowledge or experience in the business that I'm attempting to run or trying to do? If so, maybe it's something that you need to reread and reconsider. But if the answer to those questions are no, it's not anybody that I care about, it's like a stranger, a random person, or someone I've never met face to face, or XYZ, then immediately you can disqualify the hateful comment. Immediately, done. They're nobody. They ain't coming to your funeral, so who cares what they say? So that's an immediate disqualification. Or if they are not, if it was a hateful comment about something you're trying to do with your business, ask yourself, has this person ever built a successful home-based business? And if the answer is no, then it doesn't have value and you just have to exclude it. Boom, done. Just asking yourself who tells you whether you go on to step 2, which is the why. Okay? Why did they say what they say? Because sometimes if we haven't done a lot of personal development, or even if we have and we're still work in progress, sometimes constructive criticism comes across as hate. And we take that and we internalize it as something hateful. But if the who was someone of value and experience in your network or your company, or maybe someone close in your family that is really someone you love and trust, then it's possible that the why was constructive criticism and not hate. And maybe you need to step back and reconsider that, right? Maybe instead, however, maybe it was someone that you love. Maybe it was a family member. But when you ask yourself the question, why, maybe you happen to know that they're going through some really hard times. Maybe they don't have a lot of positive things going on in their own life right now, and maybe they're just lashing out on you because you're family and you love them and they know that they can and you will still love them, right? Which, now that you know their why, you can exclude their hateful comment because you know why, right? So knowing who and why is really going to help you determine those hateful comments and be able to move past them, right? Or to grow from them and realize, you know what, this is really just constructive criticism and I need to take this in and reevaluate how and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Are you with me? Because 9 times out of 10, especially on social media, a hateful comment is, and this is the example he uses in the book, a hateful comment is literally like someone driving past your house in the middle of the night going, your yard is nasty and your house looks awful and that means you must have a terrible, rotten soul. Now, if someone did that, you'd be like, what the heck just happened? I don't even know who that, like you wouldn't think about it. But because it's social media, we take it so personally. So let me just answer this question here. Yeah, I think it just kind of depends. If it's a completely atrocious comment, I don't ever feel bad about deleting atrocious comments because it's my page and it's basically like it's my book. You can't write in my book if I don't want you to. So yeah, and then depending on how awful the offense is, I either delete them or block them, or like if it was literally like I know why they're doing what they're doing and I kind of know them, then maybe maybe I just case by case as far as like deleting them or blocking them. But if it's like there's no hope, maybe this is like a former gym student or something and they're just being hateful and I can tell like clearly they're probably just jealous. They're not ever going to come around. I have no problems blocking people. Why should I care? I'm not ever going to see them in real life. And even if I did, it's not like I'm going to stop and be like, hey, I love you. No, you were mean to me. Why would I be nice to you? So The second or third actually aspect here, and then we're gonna wrap up really quickly, is the spouse relationship. It was so timely that I was hearing a lot about non-supportive spouses last week. And it's honestly probably one of my biggest frustrations in this business. And it's one of the mysteries of the mind for me. I don't get it. But I also know that it exists. And again, timely in the personal development that I was reading, that he completely summed up how to get your spouse on board with what you're doing. Okay, and it's things that I've always said, but he said it in such a way that it so made sense, and I want to pass this along to you. There's two aspects to getting your spouse from being a hater to being a supporter, okay? And the first one is time, okay? You have to be passionate enough about what you're doing that you're willing to sacrifice your time, not our time. And I want to make it really, really clear to you. In the beginning, when I was working in this business, I was doing it really early in the morning, like 4 or 5 a.m. And then I was doing it late at night, usually like 10 or after. That tells you how much I was sleeping. But I was super passionate about it. I knew I wanted it to work. And I also knew that my spouse, well, I don't think he was my spouse at the time. We were just still unlawfully living together. But I'm a spouse now, so it's all good. But I knew that his love language was quality time. So think about this for a minute, ladies. I'm going to say ladies because it's all who's on here right now. If you know that your spouse's love language is quality time, and you say, hey, I'm gonna build this business and it's gonna change our family's life. But in the meantime, I'm not gonna have coffee with you in the morning anymore. We should probably cancel date night because it's, I really like working at night. Like that's a really great time to post. And also, remember how we used to have lunch a couple times a week? We're not gonna do that anymore because I'm gonna work the business during that time. Because that way I can still get a ton of sleep and it's gonna be great. So did you sacrifice our time or your time? What do you think that tells your spouse? Tells them that your time with them isn't as precious as they thought it would be. It's going to annoy the shit out of them because they're going to feel like they're not as important as whatever this new venture is you're doing. And it's also telling them you clearly don't want it that bad because you're not willing to sacrifice anything personal for it. The only thing you're willing to sacrifice is convenient time for you that takes away from us. Are you following me? Okay, so you really have to think about, do you want it bad enough to get up at 4 a.m. when your spouse is still sleeping? So that, like literally think about it. Think about how the support that you get from your spouse would change if you changed what you were sacrificing. Like think about that for a second. Like would your spouse still be mad if when they got up at say 6 a.m., if you were already up and your work was done, would they be mad? No, probably not. If you still took lunch with them and date night with them, and you just stayed up 30 minutes past them. Like, I know one of the things Bill loves is like laying in bed next to me. If I'm like typing, he loves that. Like it puts him to sleep. He thinks that's like the coolest sound. So like, is he going to be mad? Because he's like, peace out, I'm going to bed, love you. Right? And I'm just going to stay up an extra 30 minutes and wrap up some things for work. I didn't sacrifice us. I sacrificed a little bit for me, of my stuff. Okay? So that's one aspect of it. And the second is if you are and chances are because you're here, because you have an entrepreneurial spirit, because you are doing something a little wacky that's outside of the box, chances are this isn't the first time you've gotten excited about doing something different. Chances are this is not the first time you've gotten excited about something different. So you've talked their ear off about it. You've let them know how excited you are. You talk about it all the time. You talk about wanting to go these places. You talk about wanting to do these things. You talk about other coaches. You talk about what so-and-so's social media looks like. You talk. Oh, what on earth? She just ate my daughter's headband. you talk and you talk and you talk, and then you don't act, right? And since this is probably not the first time you've been excited about something, your spouse hears you talking and goes, uh-huh, 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 uh-huh. And they're thinking, I've heard that all before. You have to want this bad enough to show them before they support you. Before they support you. I know that when I talk to some of the gals in this business who have super supportive husbands, we all kind of say that it started at the same place. It wasn't like our husbands like, yes, you're going to be top coach and you're going to be amazing and this is going to be like life-changing. For all of us that had supportive spouses in the beginning, it was more like, cool, do your thing, makes you happy, have fun. Like the support came in the sense of like, I'm not going to stop you kind of thing. I'm not going to get in your way. And what happened was we acted on that and went like, okay, cool, they're not going to stop me, but let me show them how good I can be, how much this is going to change our family. That when I said, soon I'm going to be able to pay the grocery bill, when I said soon I was going to be able to make our car payment, let me show them. And we made it fun out of like surprising our spouse, like, hey, by the way, remember how I said I was going to do this? Look, I did it. And we did it through action. So if you're continually talking about how badly you want this business to happen and your spouse still isn't like super supportive, like number one, like cheering you on, ask yourself, what have I shown my spouse? Have I shown my spouse that I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of sleep, a little bit of time out with the girls? Have I shown my spouse that I'm willing to sacrifice? Have I shown my spouse that, hey, look, just this 1 week I got $100 paycheck? That can happen in a week because you sold two challenge packs, right? Show your spouse. That is the quickest way to get them on board. By sacrificing something of your own, not theirs, and to act instead of talk. That will do two things. It will get you a spouse who's super on board with you, and it will also grow your business, right? So, I am so good with time. It's 9:28. I never want these to be more than 30 minutes. I have nothing else to say. Does anybody have any questions or anything that they would like to ask or share before we go? I'm going to unmute all of us. Everybody.
What's going to rise the name? Do you want?
Anybody, anything?
I don't think so.
All right. So we have a focus for this week, right?
Yes.
Success Club.
Yes. All right. So let's do it and make sure that you're transferring this onto your teams as well. I know that this team is capable of having an amazing September. I know we are. A lot of things going really, really well. I think the only thing that we could do better is just focus a little bit more and really work on those jabs and so throw some hooks out there. All right. Love you guys so much. Thank you. And I will see you at the Live Power Hour on Wednesday. Bye, guys.
Bye.